Your major key guitar solo is sounding a little boring and a little flat. Let's go into how to add a little bit more dimension to them, right? And get out of just sort of rambling up and down the scale, hoping for your best. When we have our minor pentatonic, we can drive an emotional arc pretty easily, right? Ending on a tension note, right? A flat 3 or a flat 7, and then resolving. Right, but we don't have that same spike in tension when we're dealing with the major, whether it's the major pentatonic or Ionian. Is this like kind of sounding solos where everything sounds kind of good and then the tonic sounds great and settled, you know? Let's just focus on non-chord tones, okay? So if I have my A major and I land on that 4, it's going to want to drive somewhere. That non-chord tone, especially the 4, is going to want to push somewhere. So whether you start your solo on that 4 or just a phrase, a short phrase that ends on that 4, it's going to want to drive somewhere away from that, okay? Same thing if I were to do it with a 2. It wants to push somewhere for sure. Now, obviously, everything is going to want to drive back to that tonic for the most part. And then the 6 works as well. I can just start right on that 6. Might want to pull down to that 5, or might want to go up to the root note. These are great ways to force your ear and force yourself to push the solo somewhere, because it's just not going to feel settled there. When we know if we land on that tonic, if we land on that root note, that everything is going to feel settled. So it's almost like the end of a paragraph, and then we're going to need to continue. So you have that choice, and the choice is always really close. What I mean by that is the 4 can go down to the 3. That 3 is going to sound somewhat settled, but we're not done yet, right? We're not. That would sound much more settled, right? Now, same with the 6. Down to the 5 is going to sound somewhat settled, but we're mid-paragraph. We're not done yet. Until I get to that tonic. Start on that 2, and then bring it up to the 3 if I'm not done with that sentence, with that paragraph, right? Now, if you're an intermediate guitar player stuck in that sort of boxy pentatonic plateau that we all get stuck in, and you really want to bridge the gap between your creative ideas and what you're able to play, becoming fully fretboard fluent, comment pro below and we can get started.